I need more hands to be sure everybody's excited to be with us today. I need more hands. I can't be the only person looking forward for this class to start already. Okay. So I'm going to go on. Adeleke Adedeji Adeniran Lamilekon. Odeyemi Yanu, thank you so much for obliging. I know you're excited as I am. I'm excited as well to be here, okay, to this interesting session. All right, thanks to Resolytics. So this is a free training, as we know. Or did anybody pay? If you paid, let me know so that we can arrest whoever collected money. I didn't pay as well. So this is a free training, the training where we're going to be treating introduction to data analytics, fully sponsored by the company Resolytics. So thank you so much, Resolytics, for organizing this. God bless you plenty. And then this training is going to be going on from today being Thursday 16th through Saturday 18th. All right. And then okay, everybody knows this. I think most of us saw the flyers already. We're going to be treating the basics of Microsoft Excel, all right, basics of Microsoft Power BI, and then the basics of SQL Server to create database management system. Okay, so who is Resolytics? Resolytics is a team of statutory IT experts with data strategy and technology platform. Okay. And then what has Resolytics done? Resolytics has trained well over 200 participants, helped several persons intern, okay, for internship placements, several job opportunities. They've taught technological skills and shown several participants how to apply these skills in real-time jobs. Okay, so it's not enough to just learn. Application is like the major. Yes, it's good we learn all of these skills and acquire, and then Resolytics go a step further, all right, miles ahead, to teach you how to apply these skills in real-time jobs. Okay, maybe you want to be a full-time job person or a freelancer. And funny thing is, in January, Resolytics is going to have a cohort to train. There's going to be a training on entrepreneurship, data analytics, and then freelancing on Upwork. So not many persons know what Upwork is. Okay, Upwork is a platform where people get paid for freelancing in dollars. And the most interesting thing about this is that in Upwork platform, most outsourced jobs or most outsourced employees sourced out for are data analytics, tech personnel especially. I'm going to be introducing you today. I don't want to waste so much time. I have just 10 minutes to do all of this. So I'm going to be introducing you a mini introduction. He's still going to tell us more about himself before I go on to the topic proper for today, okay? So I'm going to be introducing you today to the wonderful, wonderful instructor for today. He's going to be coordinating us on Microsoft Excel, which is the major for today, okay? So his name is Mr. Chukwutem Osai, all right? This man is a Microsoft certified data analyst, okay? Analyst associate, is a Microsoft certified trainer, and then interestingly, he's Resolytics team lead on training and certification. That is beautiful, you know. And then he has trained well over 3,000 participants in several sectors. He has trained participants in banking sector, oil and gas, in logistics and SMCG, majorly on data analytics and then data management. Okay, so moving forward, I need you to be rest assured that Resolytics has put you in a very safe hands, in a very skilled hands, and then his expertise is nothing to question or flicker about. So, Mr. Chukwute Mosai, I'm going to be glad to hear your voice. I know this is virtual. Just think of this think of it in your mind like you have a stage. So I'm going to be inviting you to the stage now. I'm going to be stepping down the stage, and then you're coming onto the stage to address our wonderful, wonderful guests.
All right. Thank you, Sandra. I hope you all can hear me.
Clearly, clearly.
Okay. Thank you once again, Sandra, for the introduction. My name is Osai Chukute Mokboyemi. I am a Microsoft certified trainer, a Microsoft certified educator, Microsoft certified solution analyst, and also Microsoft Office specialist in Excel. I graduated from as a banking and finance student, and also pick up a career in data analytics. And I'm glad to be here with you because I've trained well over 3,000 participants in this around Microsoft Excel, Power BI, and data analytics, both within and outside the country. So, nice to have you here today. So today we'll be looking at our major focus is introduction to data analytics. That is our focus for today. And for this course, we'll be looking at all through from now to 3 days. That's from now till Saturday. We'll be looking at Microsoft Excel, Microsoft SQL, and then Microsoft Power BI. So these are the tools that we will be looking at. So as a way of introduction, let us introduce ourselves to what data analytics mean. But before I would like to talk about data analytics, let me just talk about the key terms within the topic, which is data and also analytics. What is data? You see, data are raw facts and statistics collected for the purpose of reference or analysis. And analytics is the scientific process of discovering and communicating the meaningful patterns which can be found in data. So from here, you will see clearly that there is no way you can talk about data without talking about analytics, and there's no way you can talk about analytics without talking about data. So they both go hand in hand. All right. So that is why the course is titled data analytics. So you having data, it means that it must be analyzed. And if you must analyze any data, if you must analyze, it means that you must have data. So that is why I say that they go hand in hand, they go in pari passu. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about data. According to Cliff Omby, he said that data is a new oil. So many of us we know that there are data here and there scattered over the internet, in our workplaces, in our schools, in our organization. Yes, that data that you are seeing is what Cliff Omby is tagging as the new oil. No wonder a company like Airtel will tell you that data is life. So data is more or less like the blood in the body of a human. Okay, so anything that happens to the blood, anything that tampers with the blood of a human, it means that that human is susceptible to diseases. So the same thing as well, the same thing as well. I'm getting a feedback there. So the same thing as well. If an organization needs to succeed, the lifeblood of every organization is the data that the organization actually produces, that make up the organization. That's why you see that if anybody is sick, when he goes to the hospital, the first thing they do is to conduct a test. And to conduct a test, what would they do? they get the blood from the patient. And when they get the blood, what will they do with the blood? They do some analysis on the blood and then tell you the kind of problem that person is facing, or the kind of disease or the kind of sickness that person is having. So also the same thing when it comes to data. If any organization must succeed, that data that they are having, if the organization is not doing well, it is from the data that you will be able to tell. If the organization is doing well, you will also see that from the data. If in the next 10 or 15 years the organization will be heading to doom, you will see that in the data. And if the organization will do well in the next 5 years, you will also see that in the data. That is to tell you how powerful and how important data is to all organizations. Now, let me just tell you some key facts about data. Do you know that on every day, on each day? Yeah.
Emil, please. I see someone's hand is up. Odeyemi Iyanu. Is there something you want to tell us? There's something you have to say. You do. Please unmute yourself.
I actually signify them. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you can lower your hands. Okay. Thank you, Odeyemi. So, like as I was saying, that every single day we generate, the internet users generate about 2.5 quintillion bytes of data every day. Look at how huge that data is. Now, if on the internet this kind of data is being generated, now the question is, what are we doing with this data? Now, imagine WhatsApp. WhatsApp users exchange up to 65 billion messages every day. That is a huge data. That's a huge data that we are having there. So, also, about 5 million businesses are actively using WhatsApp business application to connect with their customers. There are over 1 billion WhatsApp groups worldwide. So this is telling you that the data out there is very huge. It's being generated on every time. Yes, I'm getting a feedback there. Yes, Adebayo. Okay, so I move on. So that's to tell you the huge data that is being generated on daily basis. Just on WhatsApp alone, about 65 billion messages is being sent, exchanged every day from one WhatsApp user to the other. Okay, now even the Google that we use, you will discover that about 3.5 billion searches is being conducted on daily basis. So if this data is being generated on daily basis, so it means that per seconds Google is being queried every 40 the search every 45 every seconds is about 40,000. So as I'm speaking with you right now, people are searching on Google every second, about 40,000 searches. So that's to tell you that there are huge amount of data right there on the internet, even offline. Apart from the internet, data are being generated offline, but people are just sitting on this data without utilizing them. And not utilizing them will always make the data to become useless, and will not be able to make meaning. Okay, now look at these statistics. Every 60 seconds we're made to understand that 98,000 tweets goes on, 695,000 status updates on Facebook, about 11 million instant messages. Okay, and about 98,445 Google searches every single second. You know what that means. And about 1,168 million plus emails are being sent all around the globe. So which brings about 1,000 820 terabytes of data created every second. Look at how huge these data are. But the question is, if these data are being generated, what are we doing with them? So, and that is the reason why we are here this evening, in order for us to see how data can be utilized. Okay, so let me just quickly talk about data analytics, because that is the reason why we are here. So if we have data, it means that those data needed to be what? To be analyzed. Now, according to Investopedia, it defines data analytics as the science of analyzing raw data to make conclusions about that information. Now, what does that mean? Even while we are seated here, even while we are here online, I will tell you that from what I have, about 18 of us are on this call. So what it means is that we are actually making right now, as we are here in this meeting, we are generating data. So, and those data are raw, not until they have been analyzed before you now say that you can that you have performed what we call data analytics on them. Now, these techniques and processes of data analytics have been automated into mechanical processes and algorithms that work over raw data for human consumption. Okay, so for human to consume data, for human to be able to consume raw data, analytics has to be performed on it. So what it means, what this means is that data analytics help a business optimize its performance. So like I said before, if an organization wants to do well as far as data as far as their performance, data analytics is needed. Okay, now the next is types of data analytics. There are about 5. Data analytics is being broken down into 5 basic types, which is descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, predictive analytics, prescriptive analytics, cognitive analytics. Now, before I go on, I want to do a quick interaction between us. If you know you have an idea about what descriptive analytics is, please just raise up your hand or mute your mic, and raise up your hand. I will call you, then you unmute your mic and speak what you understand by the word or by the type of analytics called descriptive. Okay, Adeleke, you can unmute your mic now and speak. Yes, Adeleke. Unmute your mic.
Hello.
Okay, we can hear you now. Yes, Adeleke, you are welcome.
Okay, my little understanding of what descriptive analytics is all about is that it's a type of analytics that describes the data that you have.
Okay.
What is existing already. So it's just to describe your data and show you what is actually existing right now by the data you have generated. However, when you move to, okay, no
Thank
problem.
you very much, Adeleke. So that let's see how others will look at other the other types of data analytics. You have spoken well. Descriptive analytics is to describe what has happened over a given period of time, and this can be okay over a period of time. This is what has happened within our data, or this is what has happened in the organization. So that is what descriptive analytics is. So thank you very much, Adeleke. So somebody else should tell us what he or she understand by diagnostic analytics. Yes, Kevin. Kevin, you can unmute your mic and speak.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Kevin.
I understand diagnostic analytics to refer to the kind of analytics that deals with causal inferences. It tries to examine the why of certain data.
I love that. I love that. Trying to examine the why. That is my take home. So I love that. So this is exactly what diagnostic analytics means. Looking for the why within your data set. Why has something happened? Why did this event occur? Why is our sales going down? Why is it that people are no more patronizing us? Why is it that people are no longer going to the store to buy? Why and why and why? So if you must answer the question of why, you must perform what we call the diagnostic analytics. So thank you very much, Kevin, for that beautiful explanation of yours. So somebody to tell us what you understand by predictive analytics. Predictive analytics. Who wants to give us a try? Okay, Odeshola Ibrahim. Thank you very much. You can unmute your mic and speak.
Well, good afternoon, sir. I think
Good
predictive analytics
evening.
has to do with when you do like statistical analysis or analysis of data, whether of current or historical facts, so as to predict what the future could be, maybe forecasting forex exchange, forecasting dynamics of the stock exchange, and the rest like that, or even market analysis for predictive purposes.
This is so beautiful. This is great. You really gave a deep explanation of what predictive analytics means. You want to know what might likely happen in the nearest future. Okay, what might likely happen. All right. So that is what it means. Okay. You look at the stock market, then you are trying to predict what might likely. You are trying to forecast. You are trying to look into the future to see what might happen within using the predictive analytics. Okay, someone you give it a try. The prescriptive analytics. Prescriptive analytics. Prescriptive analytics.
Can I speak to that?
Okay, go ahead, please.
Okay, so prescriptive analytics is a type of analytics where you actually prescribe what should be done after you've done.
Okay.
Why predictive is what could happen, then prescriptive analytics is all about what should we do. Trying to profile the best course of action based on the information you have gathered from your data.
I love that. I love that. The course, suggesting the course of action that should be taken in order to mitigate. Okay, in order to you are profiling a solution, prescribing a solution. Just the way I'm a patient. We go to the hospital, and then some prescription of drugs will be given in order to solve the problem that patient is having. The same thing happens in data analytics. You perform what we call prescriptive analytics in order to solve a problem that may likely happen or that has happened. Okay, thank you very much. So the last one, cognitive analytics. Somebody should give it a try. Somebody should give it a try. Cognitive analytics. Cognitive analytics. Come on. Somebody should try cognitive analytics. Okay, so if there's no response, let me just quickly take that. Cognitive analytics has to do with recognizing pattern within your data. Okay, pattern recognition. Okay, that is what cognitive analytics. Let's take for example, there's a data set we analyze a particular time. We discover that every 4 years there is this increase of sales, and then it drops again for 3 years. On the 4th year, it increases again, and then it drops again. Another 4 years, it increases again, and that is how, and that was the pattern we discovered. And then that now forces us to ask a question: Why is it that there is this increase in sales on that 4th year, and all of a sudden it drops, and then it remains stable for 3 years, and on the 4th year again it increases? So that is a pattern that has been recognized. When the question is now asked, because that organization or that firm is an advertising firm, so we discover that that year that there's increase in sales, what happened was that year is always the year for World Cup, and that means that so many organizations are coming in for advert. All right, and then for the other 3 years it remained constant in such a way that it drops and remain constant for 3 years, because those years are not and does not have any major events coming up. So that is a clear or a pure example of what pattern cognitive analytics means. All right, so let us move further. Let us now see the benefits of data analytics. Benefits of data analytics. Number one, data analytics helps an organization make better decisions. Okay, if an organization wants to make better decision, all they need to do is to perform what we call data analytics on their data. Okay, it's for them to analyze their data. Now, another is the data analytics keeps you up to date of your customer behavioral changes. Okay, within your data, you can recognize a pattern that anytime a customer buys bread, they will always buy butter. Anytime they buy toothbrush, or anytime they buy toothpaste, they buy toothbrush. Okay, anytime they buy soap, they buy sponge. Okay, that is a pattern. Then all of a sudden you now discover that the sales of toothpaste is going up, but the brush is not. You are not selling brush. It means that there is a change in their behavior. So that will now make you to probe using data analytics to find out what has happened. Is it that the brush is no longer the usual quality that we used to get? So that is one of the benefits that data analytics does. It will help you to know the way your customer behavioral changes occur. Also, it helps to improve quality of product and services. So like I said before, if you discover from your data set, you can discover that that your product is not doing well. So with the help of data analytics, you will be able to do that. You can even do what we call sentiment analysis. Okay, sentiment analysis will help you to know the sentiment of your customer as far as product is concerned. So you can even ask them, this your product, how quality it is it meeting their needs? So through there, if you analyze such data, you will be able to improve on the quality of your product and your services. Also, we have another benefit is it helps to increase the efficiency of the work. Okay, if you need to be efficient in your work, data analytics is there in order to make you to be efficient, because you will discover that in your work. Let me give you an example. There is a data, or there is an organization we analyze for. Okay, that organization, what do? They are like a customer service organization, whereby they attend to customers through phone calls. And then one of the ways that they use to measure the performance of the workers, okay, of the customer care service personnel, is for them to be able to pick calls within less than 1 minute, and then they should be able to meet up with the customer's need within that short period of time, because there are a lot of calls coming in. Then another yardstick for them, in order to measure the efficiency of work of those personnel, is that the number of calls they are able to calls they're able to attend to. And one of the most crucial core in that service is that they should be able to pick calls based on complaints. Okay, and that is one of the most difficult calls that you should attend to. So this calls, so people have been, so there is this lady that used to get the best worker of the week every time she gets the best worker of the week. But this was just done because anytime the boss is around, she will begin to pick her call. She will begin to pick calls. She's doing like a nice service. But anytime the boss is not around, she won't be working. So it now make it feel as if others are not working anytime they mention them. Anytime they mention this lady as the most effective worker of the month. Lo and behold, we were called upon in order to analyze their data. They have this data set, and by the time we analyze the data, out of about 10 of them, she's not even among the first 5. She's not among the first 5. The reason is because we were able to use the data set they are having in order to analyze. As a matter of fact, the lady who has been the best is a pregnant woman. She's a pregnant woman, and then she picks more calls more than that lady that they have been mentioning, all because as at the time they were announcing the other lady, is because they weren't using the data. But now that they now use the data set, they discover that even that lady is not efficient. So that's what data analytics does. Also, personalization of product and services. These are some of the things that data analytics does for us. Those are the benefits you get. And also it helps to mitigate risk and handle setback. So anytime there's an impending risk, if you analyze your data, you should be able to mitigate such risk and be able to handle any setback that may likely occur. Now, let us now look at roles in data. We have been talking about data, the benefit of data, the types of data analytics, but now let us look at the roles in data, and we will now begin to focus on the part that is ours. Here we have the first person here is the business analyst. Who is a business analyst? Does anybody have an idea? If you have an idea, just raise up your hand. I call on you, you unmute your mic and speak. Anybody have an idea who a business analyst is?
Hello, let me try.
Okay.
I think a business analyst is someone who has a very good grasp of the business needs of an organization and also understand the technology required, to achieve those business objectives. So it's like a middleman that tries to connect the business people and the technology people, the ICT people, so that the organization can as well work fine and achieve its objectives.
I love that. I love that. Adeleke, you have spoken well. So that is it. A business analyst knows the business. He has first-hand knowledge of what the business is, and also he knows those technology that is needed in order to ensure that the business moves on. And he serves, just like you said, he serves as an intermediary between the business owners and then the people that handles the technology. Thank you very, very much. I love that. What about a data analyst? Anybody? You have an idea? Raise up your hand. I call on you. You unmute your mic and speak. Yes, Calvin. Unmute your mic and speak.
So, a data analyst is one who analyzes raw data to make them useful information in order to translate into decision making within a business environment.
Wow, thank you very much. That is absolutely correct. You you did well. The data analyst, he gets the data, he wrangles it, he cleans it up, analyzes it, and come out with meaningful insights that will in turn help the business. Okay, so that is the work of a data analyst. What about the data engineer? Data engineer. Anyone have an idea who a data engineer is? Okay, since there's no response, let me quickly respond to that. A data engineer is a person, okay, whose job description is to build what we call a data warehouse, okay, and that data warehouse, it will now connect, it will now also build what we call data pipelines, okay, in order to channel the data from different sources into that data warehouse. That is what the data engineer does. He ensures that, because the organization might be having their data scattered all over the country or at different kind of data sources. What he does is he creates what we call a data warehouse. After creating the data warehouse, he builds pipeline from the source of that data warehouse into the from the source of the data into the warehouse where the data will be sitting. Okay, all right, and he also ensures data security of that data warehouse that has been built. All right, so what about the data scientist? Anyone has an idea who a data scientist is? Data scientist. Okay, Kevin.
Let me try. Okay.
Okay, Kevin is raising up his hand.
Okay, sir. I'm not entirely certain, but I think a data scientist is someone who can make predictions using artificial techniques, which could be patterns and stuff like that.
Okay. All right. You can lower your hands now. Okay, Idris, let's hear from you. Idris, let's hear from you. Unmute your mic and speak.
A data scientist is someone who mines data from the source before it and give it to a data analyst to analyze.
Okay. Any other contrary view who a data scientist is?
Okay, I think a data scientist is a person who has a good grasp of mathematics, statistics, programming, that can work with data and to bring out patterns, just like you said in analytics, that can be used to drive businesses to achieve their objectives.
All right, you all have spoken well. I must tell you that what all of you have said is not far from the answer at all, because the work of a data scientist is he gets the data and then begins to mine it, begins to look for patterns within it. Okay, and he must have a very good knowledge of programming, such as Python programming, such as R. So they perform what we call machine learning, they perform what we call deep learning. They even go as far as using things like AI in order to ensure that they get deep insights from the data. So thank you very much for that. And then finally, the database administrator. Who is a database administrator? What is his role? Okay, Odeshola, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I think a DBA will use like specialized software to store and organize data It could be including management of database like addition of new user, modification of rights, removal of user, installation, configuration, managing the whole data of a particular company using specialized software that are used in database administration.
Yes, you have spoken well, Odeshola. Yes, that is the work of a database administrator. He ensures the security of data, of database, and also we're able to query data, bring in new users, remove users, modify data on the database, and all that. So that's what it does. But our main focus, the reason why we are here is because of this role. Okay, it's because of this role, data analysts. Okay, knowing how to analyze data. And as a matter of fact, there are some business analysts that is also a data analyst. Now the question is, what is the work of a data analyst? What are the tasks that a data analyst perform? Data analyst tasks moves between um, these five activity. Number one, it prepares data. It prepares data. Once it gets the data, after preparing it, it makes sure that the data is properly modeled. It models the data, put it in the right shape, and after that, it visualizes that data, okay, by way of building graphs and charts to represent that data graphically for people to be able, for easy interpretation, for easy storytelling. Because what the end point of the work of a data analyst is to be able to tell stories. Okay, you should be able to tell story as far as the data is what is concerned. Okay, I'm getting a feedback from there. All right, so thank you very much. I'm getting a feedback from there. So, like I said, the data analyst, one of his tasks is to prepare the data. Once he finishes preparing the data, he models it, put it in the right shape. After modeling it, he visualizes the data. When he finishes visualizing, he do what we call analysis. Okay, he analyze, and that is where those four comes in. Those five type of analytics. He begins to explain either by way of describing or diagnosing or predicting or prescribing or recognizing patterns within that data set. That is what it does in analyzing. Then after that, it begins to manage what has been analyzed. So number one, he prepares the data. Number two, he models the data. After modeling the data, he visualizes it. When he visualizes, he analyzes it by way of describing or predicting or by way of diagnosis or by way of prescription or pattern recognition. And then finally, he manages the data. He manages the he manages the analysis that has been done, either by publishing it to the web for other people to be able to work with it. Now, let us now look at data analytics too. Now we have known the roles in data. We have known the roles in data. We have seen the task of a data analyst. Now, let us now look at the tools that a data analyst needs to work with. Now, there are various tools out there that a data analyst can actually leverage on. But our main focus, according to this quadrant, you see that we have one here, right here at the top, which is Microsoft. Okay, so Microsoft has been leading on the quadrant. Okay, Microsoft is on the leading quadrant in terms of ability to execute and in terms of effectiveness. Microsoft is at the top. Following closely is Tableau. Long before now, Tableau is the one that is leading, but ever since the advent of Power BI, it has taken over the market drastically, and that is what we are having here. Now, even Google is not even among the leaders. Google Looker is just somewhere here, which is those people, one of those that are challenging. So on the leaders chart, we have Microsoft, we have Tableau, and we have QLink. So our focus will be on our main focus will be on Microsoft. Now, when we say Microsoft, these are the tools of analysis that Microsoft has. We have the SQL Server, okay? The SQL Server, we are talking about, they have about 3 major parts. We have the SSIS, which is the SQL Server Integrated Services. We have the SSRS, SQL Server Reporting Services, and then we have the SSAS, which is the SQL Server Analytic Services. So these are the ones that we are talking that is within the SQL Server. And here we have the Microsoft Excel, and then here we also have the Power BI. This is Microsoft Excel, and this is Microsoft Power BI. And these are the 3 tools that we are going to introduce ourselves to this evening. So our focus for this evening will be on Microsoft Excel. So by tomorrow, we'll be looking at Power BI, and then on Saturday, we'll introduce ourselves to SQL Server. So get ready to learn all these tools, because as a data analyst, you need a first-hand understanding of how all these tools work. Now, let me just tell you a brief history of how these three tools were able to be actually come to be. At first, the SQL Server, which is the SQL. SQL means structured query language. That is the meaning of SQL, structured query language. Okay, so it's a universal language for database, such as we have other one like the PostgreSQL, we have the MySQL, we have a lot of them like that. They are all SQL. They are called structured query language. So as at then, when Microsoft brought about SQL, it was meant for those who are technical. It is only the technical people that can use the SQL Server analytical tool. Okay, that's why I said that it has 3 different services. Number 1, it has the SSIS, SQL Server Integrated Services. Number 2, it has the SQL Server Reporting Services, SSRS. Then we have the SQL Server Analytical Services. So it is only meant for technical people. Excuse me. It's only meant for technical people, in such a way that before you can be able to do analysis, you have to get people who are technical enough, who can be able to use this. So it means that we have just very few people, such as the IT user and the IT personnel, and also the user. As a matter of fact, organization, as at this period of time, do worship people who understand how to use the SQL Server analytical services. So as at then, anybody that has this knowledge, it means that it is only limited to some people, to some persons who have the knowledge of it. But later on, Microsoft now discovered that so many people uses Excel a lot. They now bring out some of those services from SQL, Server, and embed it into Microsoft Excel in order for people to be able to do what we call self-service BI. Okay, so instead of you calling professionals in order to come and do it for you, you can actually do some of these things yourself, and that is where we have the analysts and then we have the users. Okay, and I must tell you that ever since Microsoft embed this thing into Microsoft Excel, so many people still don't know that you can use Microsoft Excel for business intelligence analysis. So many people still don't know. They now say, okay, what can we do? They now pull out these features from Excel and make it a standalone program. All right. And that is where we have the Power BI. And that was where Microsoft introduced Microsoft Power BI. So that has been the story, right from the technical part down to self-service BI, and then down to the end user BI, where everybody can actually lay their hands on a tool and be able to perform what we call business intelligence analysis without breaking much sweat. And that is why as a data analyst, it is good you have first-hand knowledge of all these analytical tools by Microsoft. All right. And for this evening, like I said, our main focus will be on Microsoft Excel. So let me just talk a little about Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel is a spreadsheet developed by Microsoft, and this spreadsheet can be used on Windows, it can be used on Mac OS, it can be used on Android, it can be used on iOS. So these are the operating systems that can actually leverage on the spreadsheet called Excel. And I must tell you that I can boldly tell you that about 1.5 billion people are actively using Excel. So to tell you that it is the most used spreadsheet as far as this world is concerned. And I must also tell you that Microsoft Excel, it is almost impossible for you to see an organization that at the end of their work does not use this Excel. So Excel is a very robust application that can be used even by engineers, can be used by statisticians, can be used by mathematicians, can be used of all walks of life. Microsoft Excel is applicable. Okay, and the major thing they use Microsoft for is for calculation. It is also a graphing tools. You can use it for for pivot tables. You can even program it by using the Visual Basic, which is VBA. So, and Microsoft Excel is also part of the Microsoft Office suite. So anytime you install Microsoft Office, Microsoft Excel is a tool that comes alongside with it. So now let us now talk about the BI features in Excel. The BI features in Excel. Those features within Excel that has been pulled out from the SQL Server and brought and then embedded into Microsoft Excel, and of which these tools that I'm about to explain now, so many people don't know that this Excel has the capability to perform this function. Number one is the Power Query. Number one is Power Query. Okay. Now, what is Power Query? Power Query supports the wide, that is variety of data sources. Okay, including data source from the web, including data source from OData. We have Hadoop. We have a lot of data sets or a lot of data sources that Power Query can connect to. So for you to connect to any data source, okay, for you to have connection to any data source using Microsoft Excel, the tool you actually need is a Power Query. And as a matter of fact, let me just announce to you that there are 4 powers as far as Excel is concerned. 4 powers. Number 1, Power Query. This is number 1. Then number 2, Power Pivot. Okay. Then number 3, we have the Power Map. Number 3, we have the Power Map. Then number 4, we have the Power View. These are the 4 powers within Microsoft Excel that can actually help you to do what we call business analytics or data, or will be able to make you to be successful as a data analyst. Now, look at this. The first one is the Power Query. What does the Power Query do? It helps you to connect to different data sources. Okay? Then, what does the Power Pivot do? It helps you to, the Power Pivot is that part of Microsoft Excel, or that tool that allows Excel user to continue to create sophisticated models. Okay, so if you must build relationship between tables, build hierarchy, track KPIs, the tool you need to use is the Power Pivot tool. Then, when you now model the data, because don't forget the task of a data analyst, look at it. The first one is to what? Is to prepare data. So that part of Microsoft Excel that help you to prepare data is what? Is a Power Query. Okay, you get your data and then you begin to prepare it, and that is the Power Query. Now, when you finish getting the data, the next thing you do is to what? Is to model. And the modeling tool is the Power Pivot. It helps you to crunch your data, help you to model it in such a way that it will be ready to use. If you have about 3 to 4 tables that you have brought in using Power Query, to connect to those tables so that they can behave as one, we call that relationship. For you to create relationship, all you need is the Power Pivot. If you want to even build what we call hierarchy, all you need is also Power Pivot. So it's so sophisticated in such a way that it helps you to model your data. It helps you to compress. You know, Microsoft Excel, the Microsoft Excel worksheet cannot collect more than 1,040,000 data sets or data rows. But with the help of Power Pivot, you can be able to compress. So with the help of Power Pivot, you can be able to compress your data. Okay. Some people will tell you that Microsoft Excel cannot take more than that is limited. But don't worry. With the help of Power Pivot, you can be able to model and compress your data in such a way that Excel will hold it. Okay. So another one is the Power Map. Power Map is so interesting that you can build your data, or you can build your graphs on a 3D map. Okay, just the way you see it on the internet, where graphs are being plotted on a map. Okay, you can actually do that. The tool you need is the Power Map. Okay, the next one is a Power View. the Power View. What is the work of the Power View? The Power View helps to easily create visual reports and analytical views through interactive charts and graphs that help you to explore and present your data in a bold new ways. That is the work of the Power View. Now imagine all these tools or all these features are there within Microsoft Excel, but yet people are not utilizing it. So as a data analyst, that is one tool you don't need to joke with, Microsoft Excel. Okay, so these are powerful ways that you can work with your data using Excel. You discover your data, you analyze it, you visualize, and then you explore. So let us enough of the talking. Let us go into Microsoft Excel proper, and then let's see where these tools are being how you'll be able to activate these tools within Microsoft Excel. So any question before I show my screen for my Microsoft Excel screen? Any question? Any question? Okay. All right, so Idris, go ahead, please.
Yeah, my question is, at the end of the meeting, I hope we are going to have a copy of the meeting.
Okay, that is you're talking about having access to the video.
Yes.
Okay, yes, definitely we will upload it on our YouTube channel. We'll send the link so that you have access to it.
Okay.
I think that is fine.
Yes.
All right. So any other question? Thank you very much, Idris, for that question. So we will make this recording available to us by, please ensure you are on the, ensure that you're on the WhatsApp, and or it's either you're on the WhatsApp group or on the Telegram group. We will drop the link from time to time. We will update you on other programs as far as Resolytics is concerned. So let us go ahead on the demo.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm distorting your class, please.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Idris, for that question. Please let us follow Resolytics on Instagram for updates like this, so we don't miss out on important information as this. I hope everybody can hear me. So please follow Resolytics on Instagram. Follow Resolytics on Instagram. Their name is at Resolytics, and then on Google My Business also search for Resolytics. So currently we are rebuilding our website, that's restructuring rather. Okay, I think, and also on YouTube, yes, follow Resolytics on YouTube. And just as Mr. Chukutem said, do well to make sure that you're on the WhatsApp group or on the Telegram group, so you don't miss out on proper information like this. So thank you so much. Mr. Chukutem, you can go on, please.
All right, thank you, Sandra, for that information. So right now, here is my Microsoft Excel. Okay, so above here we have the different so here at the top we have the tabs. Here we have the groups. The groups are the names beneath. Okay, on the home tab we have the home tab, we have the insert tab, we have the draw, we have the page layout. Okay, so on the home tab we have the groups. This group is clipboard, this one is font, this group is alignment, this group is numbers, style, cells. So those are what we call the group. They are bounded by these two by this by these vertical lines. Can you see that? Or these horizontal lines? Okay, so these are the vertical lines, all right, for each of these groups. So please, somebody should unmute and tell me 3 groups under the data tab, so that I'll be sure we are following.
All right.
Okay,
Good evening.
you have the get and transform data.
Okay.
You have queries and connections.
Okay.
You have the data types, sort and filter, data tools, and all that.
You are too good. Thank you very, very much. Yes, somebody is about to speak. Okay, so that person should tell us the three from the insert group.
Okay, from the insert group, we have the tables, we have charts, we have tools, we have filters, links, comments, Power View.
That's very, very good. That's very, very good. I love that. So you have so it means you are all in the same line with me. So we have the tabs followed by the groups. Now, in each of those groups, now look at these font groups. We have commands. Each of these buttons, they are called commands. Okay. So, and these 3, we call these 3, or this 3 is being called ribbons. So let me take it again. Under the ribbons, we have 3 things. Number 1, we have the tabs. Under the tabs, we have groups. Under the groups, we have commands. These 3 makes up the ribbon. Okay, so I repeat, we have 3 things that makes up the ribbon. Number 1, we have the tab. Number 2, we have the groups. Then number 3, we have the commands. So all this makes up the what? Makes up the ribbon. So right now, I want somebody to unmute. I'm going to data. Under data, I want you to mention 3 commands under the data tools. 3 commands under the data tools group. Under the data tab, the data tools group, 3 commands. Now let me over on them so that you tell me. Okay, under the get and transform data, somebody should mention 3 commands. Under the get and transform data group, mention 3 commands.
Recent sources.
Okay.
Existing connections.
Okay.
From web.
Okay. Thank you
from
very,
text.
very much.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, thank you very, very much. So it now means that you can you're able to navigate, because this is a navigation system as far as Excel is concerned. So if you must navigate within Excel, that is how you navigate. You move from the tabs. From the tabs, you go to the groups. From the groups, you locate your command. Okay, so that is how the instructions will be coming out. Now, another thing that is worthy of note, here we have the what we call the name box. In this place, we have the name box. Here we have the formula bar. Here we have the insert function. So the ones at the top here, which is A, B, C, okay, is called the columns, while the 1, 2, 3, which is the rows, are labeled 1, 2, 3. So the combination of a column and a cell, and a combination of a column and a row is called a cell. So the intersection of both is called a cell. So anywhere I click here, it's called the active cell. So it will show on the name box. And if I must navigate, I can also use the name box to navigate. If I want to navigate, let's say to cell H1. So if I type cell H1 here and hit my enter, it will move to the cell. Okay, so beneath here we have sheets. Beneath here we have sheets. So you can do a lot of things around the sheet. You can hide, you can change the tab color, protect, and all that. So those are some of the things you can do on the sheet. You can even add more sheets. Okay, so if I want to see the last column on Excel, I will hold down my control key and then hold down my and then press my navigation arrow pointing left. Sorry, arrow pointing right. So it will take me to the last column. So somebody should mention the name of the last column on Excel.
The name of the last column in the Excel is XFD.
XFD. I love that. What about the last row on Excel?
The last row is 1048,576.
Yes, 1,048, 1,048,576 rows. So what it means is that Excel cannot take an Excel sheet cannot take more than that. But an RDBMS is a related database management software. Is an RDBMS. It can take up to billions of cells. So let's take billions of rows. Let's say, for example, you want to analyze a data set that is more than 2 million. It means that you cannot do that using Excel. But with the help of Power Pivot, that is a tool which we will expose ourselves to this evening. With the help of that Power Pivot, you should be able to undo rows that is more than this number here in Excel. So with Power Pivot, you don't have limitation. But using the ordinary Microsoft Excel, you are limited to just 1,048,576 rows. Rows, yes. Okay. So now, another thing that is worthy of note that you must understand about Microsoft Excel is to know the version of Microsoft Excel you are running. Now, the version that you will need in order to do this is from is version 2013. Okay, from 2007, every year Microsoft upgrade its upgrade its software. Okay, they had to update to its software. All right, so that's why when you have Office Excel 2007, please somebody should mention the next one. 3 years added to that will be what?
2010.
Yes, so that is another version. Excel 2010. Another version added 3 years is 2013. So we have another one, 2016. Then 2016. Then we have the one of 2019. As a matter of fact, we have the one of 2021. Now the question is, what version of Excel are you running? And also we have the one that is on the web, which is the Office, which is the Excel 365. That one is being updated every day. Anytime there's a new update, you'll be able to enjoy that update. Unlike if you are running 2016, you must wait until you have 2019, okay, before you now get the latest update. But for 365, it means that your update is, if there is a new update today, you are going to get that update right away. Okay, but for the other ones, which you have to wait every 3 years, so those updates will be packed together, then they will now add it as a new version in another 3 years. So the version of Excel you are running. You come to your File tab, okay? So the File tab will bring you to the backstage. This place I am now is called the backstage, okay? So under the backstage, you will come to the option where we have account. If you click on the account, okay, so right here you will see the version of Excel that you are running. Okay, so for me, I'm running 365 version. Okay, I'm running the 365 version. So that is how you know the version of Excel you are using. So for you to enjoy that BI features that I've mentioned, okay, now please somebody should help me with those four powers that I mentioned about those four features that I mentioned.
The Power Query,
The Power Query,
the Power Pivot,
Power Pivot,
Power View, and Power Map.
Power View and Power Map. Thank you very much. So for you to enjoy these four features, you must have at least 2013 version of Excel. I repeat, for you to enjoy these four, you must have 2013, at least on the minimum 2013 version of Microsoft Excel. And how do you activate this option? How do you activate this option? Still on the backstage, I'm clicking on, I'm going to the backstage again. So if I'm going to the backstage, I click on File. While on File, I will come to Options, okay? If I click on Options, it will bring me here, okay? So I will come to the add-ins. So click on the add-ins. While I'm here on the add-ins, I will now come to Manage. Here that you have Excel add-ins. You drop it down and you choose Come Add-ins. Then you click on Go. Immediately you click on Go, it will bring up the options. Can you see that? We have the Power Map, Power Pivot, and then Power View. So you have to tick them. Once you finish ticking them, so by default, the reason why you are the only one you are not seeing here is the Power Query. By default, Power Query will come with with Excel 365, 2021 version, 2019 version, and 2016 version. By default, Power Query will come with it. But you have to activate Power View, Power Pivot, and Power Map. You have to activate these three. So once you tick the three of them, then you click on Add. Once you click on Add, then you say OK. All right. So you click on OK. So so it will automatically activate those features for you. Now, how do you locate them? How do you locate these features that I have made mention? Number one, you come to data. Here, under data, get and transform data. This option here, get data, that is where you be able to access Power Query. Okay. Now on the tab here, you see on the tab, immediately I activated, it's showing me what? Power Pivot. So this is the Power Pivot where you can manage where you can model your data, create measures, build KPIs, add the data to your model, detect relationship, and do some other settings. So that you can do with Power Pivot. Okay. So back to Insert. If you come to the Insert tab, your 3D map, this is the Power Map. This is the Power Map, and here is the Power View. All right. So those are the four. Let me take it again. For Power Query, you come to data. Under data, you get and transform data here. That is where you get your get data. That is where you have access to your Power Query. So for you to access your Power Pivot, it will come as a tab. All right, it will come as a tab. For you to access the 3D map, which is the Power Map, you come to Insert. You get your 3D map. Your 3D map is your Power Map, while your Power View is the fourth one, which you can also get in your Insert. So that is how you locate those wonderful features within Microsoft Excel for you to be able to use. So let me just quickly do a demo on how you can get a data. When you get the data, you put it into the model. From the model, you build your visual. But let me announce to you that Power View is no longer available in 365 and 2021 version. I repeat, Power View is no longer available in Excel 365 and Excel 2021. As at October this year, they have removed Power View, though it can be here, but if you try to use it, it will give you a complaint that Power View will no longer be supported and will be removed from Excel. To keep using your reports, switch to free Power BI desktop app. So they are referring us to use Power BI. Like I said the other time, that they remove these features from from Excel and make it a standalone program, and then they call it Power BI. But it is good also you know how to use these tools that we have made mention here in Excel. So let me just quickly run a demo through on how you can get data. Now let me do that. So for you to get data, you come to data. Under data, you go to under the data tab, you go to get and transform data group, and then you click on get data. Your interface may be different from mine because mine is 365. So if you are working with 2013 versions like 2016 or 2019, for 2019 it may be the same with mine, but for 2013 and 2016 it may not be the same with mine. So but just try to figure it out. It will be what you are looking for will be under get and transform data. So I'm clicking on it, get and transform data. So with your get and transform data, you can connect to as many data source as possible. I don't care where that data set is. If that data set is online, our Power Query will go there, connect to that data. Now, let's take, for example, let us try to look for a data here. Okay, let's see. Let's say corona virus. Okay, let's say wordometer, wordometer.com/corona virus. Okay. Now, for example, this is a I'm doing. Let me share this screen. Okay. This is tough. Okay. This is now finding this data. Okay. What was called. I think there are some data sets that are on that. Okay. All right. So let's see. Okay, these are different data sets. Let's click on coronavirus updates. Let's see what is there. Let's see what is there on the coronavirus updates. Okay, so I just want to let you know that I don't care where that data is sitting. If the data, no matter the database, Power Query can talk to that database. Power Query can go there, get the data for you. Now, look at this. We are having, look at this table. So instead of me copying this table from here to Excel, okay, what I will just do, I will get this URL, okay, copy this URL, connect to this table, and then work with it. Now, let me do that so that you see. I will copy this URL, copy back to Power Query, get data from where? It can get data from different data sources. Look at it. Even if that data set is on PDF, use Power Query. It will connect to the data set on a PDF file and bring out that table for you. Because you might have the data on PDF and say, oh, how will I use this? How will I be able to analyze this data? Don't worry yourself. Use Power Query to get the data from PDF. It will drag out that data set for you and get it ready for you to use. So, but this time around, I want to get my data from the web. Okay. So where is it? Okay, I will click on from web. Where are you? Online services. Okay, let me take from web. I want to get that table that I saw on Wordometer. Okay, I've collected the URL. So the next thing I will do is to click on from web. So if I click on from web, it's trying to load up to bring up the interface for me to paste my URL. So it's still loading. Still loading. Let's give it a little time so that it will load up the interface for us. This is tough. Come on, come on. Okay. Can you see that? We are having URL, yes. So I will paste my URL where I've seen that data set. Okay. So once I click on it, just say okay. It will quickly connect to that. It will quickly bring that table that I'm having on that URL. It's asking me this. I will click on anonymous and then say connect. So if it is an organizational account or a web API, you have to supply that. Okay. So it's trying to connect to that website to bring up that table for me. All right. So it's connecting. Can you see that? And the beauty of this is that the beauty of our query is that if there is any update, if there's a latest update on that website, all you just need to do right here on Excel is to refresh, and that latest update there, you will have it right here on Microsoft Excel. That is the power of that is why we call it Power Query. It can connect to any data source. So it's doing that right now. It's trying to establish a connection to that data set. All right. So let's see, it's still connecting. So it's trying to drag in this table. Okay, still connecting to the table. So so this table that is here is trying to connect to it. It will bring this table directly for me into every single details that is on this table. It will bring it out. I'm telling you. So let's go back, still connecting, establishing connection. So let's see how this will go. Come on. All right. So while it's still connecting, do anyone have any question so that we attend to it before the connection takes place?
Sorry, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, please, when I was trying that add-ins and everything,
Okay.
you said we should go to com add-ins, right?
Yes, com add-ins.
Yes, and I clicked go.
Okay.
So I marked Power Map for Excel, Power Pivot, and Power View, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and I clicked Add. But the thing is that it's directing me to my local disk.
It's directing you to your local disk.
Yes, like
Okay.
maybe
Okay.
it's not telling me
Okay.
file name.
Okay. Don't worry. Don't click on add. Just click on OK. All right. It will activate it for you. So don't bother about clicking on add. Just click on OK. Once you have ticked confirm that you have ticked the 3 of them. Have
Yes,
you
I've
ticked
clicked
the 3
OK.
of them?
Yes, Power
So
Map.
once you click on OK, it will add it.
Sorry?
It will add it for you. Which version are you running?
2016.
2016. Okay. So
So I
just
should
do that.
just
It will add it.
okay.
Just click on OK. You have
Yeah,
activated it.
yeah, I think is there. Thank you.
All right. So thank you very much, Oluwatomisin.
I've
So
been
any
able
other
to
question?
get the data.
You said?
I've been able to get that wordometer data to my Excel
Wordometer data. Oh, that's great. That's great.
table.
That's great. So mine is still trying to bring up the preview. It's trying to bring up the preview of the table. So that's to tell you the power of so mine is telling me that I've seen about 3 tables. This is the first one. Let me see which of them I want. Come on. Okay, it's trying to preview it for me. Right. Come on. Why are you slow? Get this up for me. Let me see the preview of the data you have brought in.
But mine didn't give me any preview. It didn't give me this.
Okay, just brought the data set into your Excel straight.
Yes.
Which of the options did you select while you were at the get and transform data?
From the web.
From the web. Okay. Okay. Did you just click on load or you click on transform data?
It didn't even give me all those.
Okay, it did not give you any of those options.
Yeah, I just copy the URL, paste it into the dialog box.
Okay.
And click OK.
Okay.
Click on import. So
okay, which of the version are you running?
2016.
2016. Okay. Okay. Now look at mine. Mine is showing differently from yours. So it's trying to bring up the tables for me.
This looks like Power BI stuff.
Of course, of course. You know, I told you that that Power BI is an offshoot of Excel. They brought out all these features from Excel and make it a standalone program and call it Power BI. And ever since then, Power BI has been updated every month. Since 2015 up to now, Power BI has been updated every single month. There is a new update on Power BI. So can you see that I'm able to see the data anyone I feel like choosing? So once I'm okay, I can load or transform. So when I click on transform, it will now take me to Power Query, where I can now begin to do what we call data cleaning. Okay, I can now begin to clean the data, shape the data in the way that I actually wanted. Can you see that? It will take me to Power Query Editor. So that is the procedure. So from there, if I'm okay with what I've done, once I'm done with the cleaning and all that, there are a lot of cleaning that you can do, which this class may not be able to accommodate. So once I'm done with that, I can now come to, okay, it's still loading. So let it load it up. All right. So let me just do 1 or 2 cleaning here. Let me right click. All right. And then remove this column. Okay. Let me come to this place. Remove, let me remove the first column, remove top rows. I want to remove the first one, which is the word. I will just say remove one rows. Then okay, all this I'm doing is what we call data cleaning. All right. So let me see if there are other cleaning I can do here. Okay. Any other cleaning? Okay, I think I'm okay with this. Once I'm done with that, I can now come here and say close and load. All right. So if I click on close and load, it will load it to my Excel for me. But if I say close and load to, all right, if I click on close and load to, it will now give me an option of loading it to my Power Pivot, which is add this data to the data model, which is Power Pivot. So if the data I've connected to is so huge that the Excel worksheet cannot carry it, all I just need to do is to add it to the data model. So once I'm done with that, I will just click on OK. All right. So it will add it to the data model. Then by the left hand side, it will show a pane of the data that is loading. Okay, so that is the work of the Power Query. It gets the data for you, help you to load it to the data model. So under the data model, you now begin to do your connection. But there, I only have one table, so I don't need to do any relationship. I may even decide to do hierarchy from here and do a lot of things. All right. So all those things so it's still trying to load the data. So once it's finished loading, you can now begin to run. You can now begin to build your visuals and then give explanation on your analytics. All right. Any question before I hand over the section to Sandra? Any question? It's still loading. Any question before it completes loading? All right. So, Sandra, over to you. Hello, Sandra. Okay. Can you see that? It has loaded for me. Aha. So from here, I can now begin to build my visuals. So how do I do that? All I need to do is to come to data. Under data, I'll come to insert. Under insert, I want to insert a pivot table. Okay, so my pivot table can be from data model, which I've loaded to the data model. But this time around, okay, let me do my pivot table from the data model. It's asking me which worksheets. Let me open a new worksheet. Open a new worksheet for me and then start. So from here, I can now begin to build my visual. Okay, so let me open this up. So please feel free to ask me any question as far as this COVID-19 data is concerned. And you'll see that right here, we'll be able to answer the question. Okay, let us see country by the total number of cases. So these are the countries.
Again,
okay, you can't see my screen. Hello.
Yes, I can't see your screen. No, I don't know whether it's from you.
Please, other people.
It should be
from you.
So other persons are seeing my screen.
Check your connection.
Please check your connection. So from here, you see now that I've started building my analysis. Can you see that these are the countries? These are the countries by the total number of cases. Now, if I need to build a chart for this, I will select anywhere within this place and then build a report for that. So I will come here and say insert what? A pivot chart. So once I click on the pivot chart, it will ask me which type of pivot chart do I want to use. Let me use any of these, a clustered one, and then say okay. Can you see that? It has built the chart of this for me. Now I want to filter down to only Nigeria. Okay, let me see the case in Nigeria. Okay, can you see that? So in Nigeria, we have about 218,596 cases as at today. All right. So maybe I want to add other countries, like please mention any country you want me to add, so that I add the country and you see the country coming up. Then we'll compare with Nigeria. Yeah.
Algeria. Add England.
Algeria. Somebody said Algeria, yes.
England.
England.
Brunei.
England.
Italy.
This is Italy. Okay. Add to current selection. Algeria. Then okay. So can you see that? So we have Algeria, we have, okay, let me add Italy, add to current selection. Can you see that? You see that immediately I click on Italy. There's something dwarf Nigeria and Algeria. Can you see that? So do you see the power of data analytics? So from here you can do a lot of things. As a matter of fact, let me convert this chart to become a pie chart so that we can see it on a clearer view. So to do that, I will click here, go back to insert. I want to convert this chart to a pie chart. So once I click on it and say okay, can you see that Algeria has, let me click on this, model this data by highlighting, come to home, format it and add so that it can be easy to read. Okay, so let me remove the zeros. I don't need the zeros. All right, so under here, let me add the chart label so that I can see it. Can you see that? Let me expand and remove them from each other. Can you see that? Can you see this analysis? That Italy is having 5,258,881 cases as compared to Nigeria that is having 218,596 cases. So
sorry,
do you care?
how do you separate them? How do you separate the?
Okay, how did I separate them? Just click on one of them and drag. Let me do that again. Let me do that again so that you see it. So once you have it like this, just click on one of them and then drag. It will separate it for you. Can you see that? Just drag. It will separate it for you. Now let me add another. This thing again. Let us see the death rate. That is the cases.
Left,
yeah.
You have just 4 minutes left, sir.
All right. So let me just round up. Let me also add another one. Insert a pivot table. Okay. Add it to a new worksheet. Let us see another report. Let us see the countries by the new cases. Okay. Let us see for those 3 countries that we selected before. Nigeria. Let us tick Nigeria. Come on, Nigeria, where are you? I have only 4 minutes. Nigeria, Italy, and Which country again? We have Algeria. Here are you?
Nigeria.
This. Okay. So we have this total number of new cases. Can you see that? As of today, the total new cases in Italy is 20,672. As compared to Nigeria that is having 730 cases, and Algeria, if I want to represent this on a map, on a chart, I will insert a pivot chart. I can't use this because it's not showing it clearly for me. So let me choose a tree map. This is not showing for me on a tree map. Okay, let me go ahead using a column chart. Okay, let me use a line chart or a column chart. Okay, can you see that? Now let me quickly build a 3D. Let me quickly build a 3D map. How do I do that? I will come to insert, under insert, come to maps, open a 3D map. All right. So if I click on the 3D map, it will load the 3D map for me. So let's wait while it's loading it so that you have an idea how the 3D map works as well. I still have about 2 minutes left. I hope I will be able to achieve this in that 2 minutes. 3D map, where are you? Please load. Okay, can you see that? This is wonderful. All right, so let me choose the countries. Okay, if I want to choose the country, close this for me. Aha, I want to, okay, it has already, can you see the point of all the countries? But this time around, I want it to be, I want the countries to be, okay, I want it to be by, let me add field, by the active deaths. Active death. Can you see that? Can you see that? That we have built a 3D map of our work. This is how people have died in various countries around the world. Can you see that the cases in Africa is less pronounced as the cases we have in Europe and as we have it in America and other Asia. This is another Asia countries. Can you see that? So this is by the total number of deaths. So you can even present this like you can even play a tour of it. Can you see that? So that is the beauty of the 3D map. So I hope with this, you now have an understanding of what we are talking about when it comes to using Microsoft Excel for data analytics. So I am at this point in time handing over to Sandra. Thank you very much.
Thank you. God bless you. It's been
Thank
awesome.
you.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Good
Thank you very
evening.
much. It's
Okay,
been a
thank
wonderful
you so
class.
much. Thank you so much, Mr. Chukwutem Osai. Also to the participants of this meeting, of this session. It was an amazing one. I'm sure we have we have a whole load more to learn about, but our time would not permit us. So just we actually had the third session of this. We actually were supposed to have the third session to start from 8:45. In fact, from 8:30, and I postponed to 8:45. But I saw how interesting the class was going, so I'm like, okay, no problem. We'll continue from where we stopped tomorrow. Although tomorrow is another power pack for another thing. But for today, I know that we've learned a lot. If you know you want to learn further, if you know you want to take this ahead, you can reach out to I think we all have the flyer. If you don't have the flyer, please reach out to um you can reach out to me via WhatsApp. Out to There's a number that was on the flyer. I'm checking out for that number now. I'm trying to get the number. The number that was on the flyer. Please get your biros so you can write the number down. Don't miss out on the opportunity to learn. And if you're not on the WhatsApp group already, kindly find your way around getting on the WhatsApp group or the Telegram group. Do well
I
to
will drop
follow.
the I will drop it on the chat right now.
Oh, please do. Oh, please do. Do well to follow Resolytics on Instagram at Resolytics rather. Do well to follow Resolytics on Instagram at Resolytics. Do well to follow Resolytics on Google My Business as well. And I mentioned before that the website is going through some restructuring, so we're not giving out that link yet. All right. I think that's all for now. I'm also looking for the number, but since Mr. Chukutem said he's going to put that on the chat, please do well to keep up with that. And then we're going to also have a cohort in January to still further treat data analytics. If you know you're attending this class and you want to take it a step further, you want to learn a whole load more. I know with this, what Mr. Chukwutem did is the summary. So if you want to have a full details, like a full-time knowledge, full power pack knowledge on Excel, that's the advanced Excel for data analytics, please do not miss out on the January cohort, okay? Because we're going to be treating data analytics and how to apply it practically. Because this we are seeing now is like I know it is practical, but it's like what they call theory. You're just seeing it, you're not with your laptop to practice and all that. Please do well to further practice following following our YouTube channel, and then further practicing on your own. Okay, and then the January cohorts where we're treating data analytics, secondly entrepreneurship, and finally freelancing on Upwork. And I explained to the early attendees on what Upwork is. So if you want to understand what Upwork is, do not miss out on tomorrow's session. Okay, so it's a good one. I'm really grateful to Mr. Chukutem Osai, to the whole of Resolytics and his team, especially those behind the scene that most of us do not even know. Okay, so thank you all so much. I'm going to say a good night from here. I'm supposed to share real life experiences, on data analytics. But I don't know if, okay, I think I still have 6 minutes. So I really hope I'm not talking so much. I hope you're like grabbing all of this information I'm giving, please. So I'm an human resource personnel, okay? I manage people and all that. So I outsource for some data analytics, or what do I call them now? Data analysts, yeah. I outsource for data analysts. At one point, like that was around last year, especially during the Corona period where people couldn't go to work. Data analytics is it's so vital that even when people were losing their jobs, they were still outsourcing for data analysts. Yes, we're still outsourcing in great numbers for data analysts. Yeah, so I was so lucky to outsource for I'm not supposed to mention, okay, let me not mention because it's a very big brand, yeah. We outsourced just six at the time, 6 data analysts at the time to go through their system and all of that. And I tell you, they pay them, you don't want to know what they pay them per week. They are the first set of employees I've seen they pay per week. In fact, they wanted us to pay them per day, but we're like, no, that will cost a lot. They will have to pay for bank charges and all of that. So they withdrew, and we're like, okay, pay them per week. Yes, that is how beautiful data analysis can be. So do not miss out on the opportunity at all to grasp all you can from this lesson. I tell you, okay. And then for there were other things in the power pack than data analytics, but today let's just stick on with that. So another big thank you again to Mr. Chukwutem Osai. It was a power pack. In fact, 2 hours. 2 hours seemed like a lot when we started, and then right now it's like we don't have enough time. All right. It's a good night to everybody. Do have a wonderful night. Thank you all for staying till the end. A big shout out to the early birds. I don't know if I should have a gift for you now, or maybe on the third day we're going to be announcing that. A big shout out to the early birds, those that were really interactive. A big shout out to Adeleke Adedeji Abraham. You were early. You came in to the meetings very early and we're so interactive. I wish, like, I hope every other person take a cue from you. And I hope there are like some backbenchers as well, those that are not really interacting, but are really taking everything in. You know, there are some people like that as well. So thank you all so much. And it's a good night for me.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Good night. Good
Thank
night.
you. God bless you for this kind gesture. It's been very, very educative. God bless you all and your team.
You're welcome.
Please, I hope the session continues tomorrow.
Of course, it continues
Okay.
tomorrow by 9 and by 7
p.m.
Yes, 7 p.m.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It continues tomorrow and next tomorrow, same time, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
And we are using the same link, right?
The same link, the same medium, yeah.
Yes, please. The same link.
All right.
So I've dropped the WhatsApp group and then the Telegram group. So you can send to your friends, let them join.
Okay.
Tell them how they have missed out for today.
All right. Yeah. Thanks so much.
All right. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.